Welcome to HighLevel Harris, the best affiliate on the planet. I'll get to that in a minute, but today we're going to take it easy. The intro. So, for someone that's beginner, I'm going to go through everything that I know from beginner level to the expert level. I've been using HighLevel for a couple of years. I know the ins and outs more than most people, so I thought I'd share my knowledge. So, to my beginners, we're going to talk about what I found a bit confusing, which is what's the difference between an agency level and a sub account. So let's get into that. So here we're in the agency level. So agency level, you can tell you're in the agency level because if you come here, you can say it says here, click here to switch. If it wasn't like that, it would say a name of a sub account, for example, one of these. Agency level is your level as the agency owner. This is where you can control sub accounts, you can make snapshots, which we'll get into future videos, and this is where you control. You're like the overarching, looking down on the other sub accounts. So, for example, let's say the higher tier is the agency level, lower down is the sub accounts. The sub accounts, what they are, is your client's accounts. So let's go into my one. So the sub account is the account that you or your clients have. So this is where the websites are, where you make your automations, where you got your calendars, contacts. This is where you make everything, and the agency level is where you look over everything. So if you want to switch back to the agency level, you go to the top left here, and then you click switch to agency view. There are a lot of things on the agency view that you can't do in the sub account. For example, in the agency view, you do stuff like adding your domain to your account. So for example, at the top it says app.alamx.com. So that shows that it's my software, that you can brand this software as your own. That's what you do in the agency level, which you go to company and you do it here, which I'll make another separate video on later. So you add your white level domain, API domain, and your custom JavaScript, which I'll do in another video. But sub accounts, for example, if you have a client and you want to make them account, you go to your agent's view, you go to sub accounts, you would add a sub account, and you follow out what's here. And then once that's done, you'll have a sub account here, which you can go to. That's where you create the websites. This is where you create the automations. This is where you create the whole software for them is in the sub account, but you can overarch it in the agency view. Just a quick pause. You may be asking, why did I say I'm the best affiliate on the planet? Now let me tell you. Here's everything you get when you join my affiliate. You can pause the screen, but what you get is 24 access to me at all times. Free Zoom calls. You get the best SaaS entrepreneur snapshots, and many more for different niches. You get white labels, sales presentation. Now what that is when you have a client and you want to explain to them what the software does, I'm going to give you a presentation that goes through everything the software does, but you can white label it and put your own name to it. That's what white labeling means. You put your own name to that presentation. I'm also giving away a $997 custom prize. I'll explain what that is once you join, and it's genuinely a game changer. Now, what's good about HighLevel is that you can have unlimited sub accounts, meaning you can have unlimited clients. It's literally, so I hope that clears that up, what the agency view is and what a sub account is. Sub account is what the client's account that you manage and you'll make the websites for them, and the agency view just is like the overarching view that you can look down on the sub accounts and control certain things. And the things you can control, I'll show you right now. So firstly, you can make snapshots, which I'll explain in a future video. But what basically it is that you can take the contents of one sub account, like the website's automations, and push it into another sub account. So for example, if you've made a sub account for a PT and you have another PT client, instead of redoing everything again, what you can do is take the contents of your first client sub account and push that into the second client and just edit the logo, stuff like that, so you can be very quick with making a new software for your client. The agency view is also where you would brand your software to be your own here, which I'll explain in another video. You can also control your team. So everyone, you can control what permissions they have. So what your clients, what they can do in their account, what they can't do, which is here in user permissions. For example, this client has they can do everything. But if I don't want to give them the opportunity to have funnels, I'll just click here, then press save. That's it. The agency view is also where you can control your email services. So you need to get a domain and put it into the system. So when you send emails, blast emails out, you can. So your emails are branded to your own company. This is where you also create custom menu links, which is basically, do you know that video training that I had where you can put it on every sub account? What you do, I'll make another video on this, but what you can do is make that here in the agency view. So if you've got any questions, let me know. Affiliate link is down below, and yeah, this is just a very brief, quick video.